Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
You look fabulous.
So do you.
Thank you. I did it all for you.
I love the earth tones.
Thank you. I don't think I'm an autumn, but I definitely dress like I think I'm one.
I love it. It's so chocolatey and delicious. Like
Thank you.
caramel chocolate. I'm just gonna wave hello to the people who joined. How are you?
Yes. Good. How are you?
Great. How what time is it there?
It is 8 o'clock. I had
Awesome.
to check.
Awesome. It's Saturday night. Woo woo.
I'm ready. We've been acting like our Saturday nights are Saturday nights.
Yeah, so you have like a big not Skype session, but like a big Zoom session after this, right?
Yeah, with all my girlfriends that I miss dearly.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's such a great idea.
Yes, anything to get together with people, right?
Totally. I mean, we got to do what we can under the circumstances. Hang on, I'm just going to switch this music here. So how have you been coping? I know you've been doing a lot of the challenges, and I want to say I loved your challenge, wear your weird shit.
Yes. I'm so, when I saw your live and you shouted it, I was like, oh, you were so sweet.
Just the name, just like, there's something about it. I'm like, wear your weird shit. It was just me, it's very authentic with my vibe.
and the mantra is all thanks to Amelia. She actually came up with the mantra in 2019, and we originally were going to do a clothing swap using the mantra "Wear your weird shit," and that did come to fruition. And so when I brought up using it for a style challenge, she's like, "Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun," and people came out for it. It was amazing.
I'm sure, sometimes just the title can motivate somebody.
Right.
And also like the challenges were kind of like very accessible, I find, to a lot of people, which was helpful.
Definitely.
Yeah, so good. Kudos to you girls for doing that.
Thank you. Thank you for joining the challenge.
Of course. Yeah, thanks for coming on tonight. Do you want to just introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do, and all that?
Yeah, certainly. So my name is Kaitlin of WindyCityThrifter. I'm originally from upstate New York, but made the move to Chicago 7.5 years ago.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I'm an eco stylist. It's not my full-time job. I'm a legal assistant for the boring side of my life.
That stuff,
yeah. Right. But I'm an eco stylist, so I help my clients build a more sustainable and budget-friendly wardrobe by styling them with secondhand pieces.
Great.
And I also go into their wardrobes to help them remix or edit.
Yeah.
I
love it. I love the word wardrobe remix. I thought I came up with myself, but apparently
I know you. I never know. Yeah.
It's great, but I love tying it with the music, like remix it up.
Yes.
How did you get into this, Kaitlin? How did you get into being an eco stylist?
Yes. So I've always had a love for vintage and secondhand fashion. I was lucky enough as a little girl to get my mother's 80s clothes, my grandmother's clothes from the 50s.
Woo, fun.
Oh my goodness. So honored to wear those pieces.
So they kept all their fun stuff and hand me down to you.
Oh,
that's
yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And so when I went to college was when I really got into the thrifting part.
Yeah.
And I've always had a blast playing in my friends' closets. And one day a few years ago, I was like, I do this for my friends. Like when we go out shopping, I pull pieces for them already. I'm like, why don't I try doing something with that? Because and it just brings me so much joy to find a piece that really speaks to someone. And so I decided to try it, and I'd say 90% of my clientele.
Oh, we froze.
Oh no.
Oh, we're frozen.
Oh no.
It happens.
Oh, am I unfrozen?
You're good now.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. We're back.
Yay. Oh, good. I never know.
I know. It's tough to know. So sorry. You said you did this with your friends, so you decided I'm going to do this for real, and then.
Yes. So, and then I was saying that about 90% of my clients have been word of mouth.
Awesome. That's
Yes.
the best way. That's the best form of advertising, I find.
I
You really want to get a reference, somebody that you trust, right? Yeah.
Right. And that just makes me feel so humbled, just the fact that people are telling people about what I do. And I was like, oh, you should try it. Like, that just means the world to me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what are the fundamental couple things that you tell your clients? Maybe start with like, do you start them off with like a wardrobe remix session first, or do you guys go thrifting together?
Yes. So I always send my clients what I call my style profile questions so that I can hone in and make sure our session is as efficient as possible. I don't want anyone to feel like their time is being wasted. So I go into the session with them already knowing what their aesthetic is, what they're looking for, what they're striving for in their existing wardrobe. And so I haven't yet started with the remix and then moved on to a thrift style session. That's perhaps maybe down the line for a client. But so I always start with those questions. And then when we get to the store, I pull out the pieces that speak to the answers they've given me.
Awesome. Do you, in your style profile, like, do you put together a mood board with your client, or do they do that? Or how do you set that up?
Yeah, so I've had clients actually offer Pinterest pages to me. I find a lot of people, a lot of people love. Yes, yeah. And so that's been super helpful for me. Or one of my questions is, what is a brand that speaks to you? So that I have a visual of what visually speaks to them. But a mood board would be fun.
Well, that's basically like what Pinterest is, right?
Right.
It's just photos to kind of inspire, and just so that, yeah, exactly. You know what kind of pieces that the go-to.
Right.
So like, what's your like your main recommendations for your clients? Is there like certain ones that you find you're using a lot these days?
Yes. So when the client is trying on the pieces, I'm always conscious of making sure they're present while they're in the piece, and I make sure that they feel out how they feel in the garment.
Right.
Yes. And so I am a big proponent of conscious consumerism, and if I can tell, because I have a background in theater, so I can sometimes tell like body language or and so if I notice that they seem uncomfortable, but they're not really saying anything, I try to explore that with them, because I tell them, if you don't feel comfortable in it now, you probably won't pull it out of your wardrobe, so you shouldn't buy it.
That is true. And sometimes, you know, you find you have to push people a little bit out of their comfort zone, right? Just a tiny little bit.
Yes. I actually, I usually have at least what I call a wild card in what I pull for my client. And I've actually never had a client not buy their wild card. So it's always like a little pat on my back.
You know, it's funny, like those type of pieces, I find, even for myself, like somebody else will pick it out for me, let's say. Yeah. And they say, I think this will look good on you. Like, it takes me a second to think about it. I'm like, I don't know. And then I keep looking at it. I'm like, you know what? It's a little out of my comfort zone, and it ends up being my most favorite piece, and I wear it for years and years and years, which is kind of funny. Yeah.
And I wonder if it's almost like the act of someone choosing it for you, if it feels sort of sentimental. Yeah, I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, that could be. I didn't think about it like that, but it just, I don't know, like maybe it's because I find we always go for the same things over and over. Right. So it's just nice to have something a little bit on left field, not left field, but you know what I mean? A little bit outside.
Yeah, something fun, because I don't know if everyone considers style as something that's fun.
Right. Yeah, so maybe more people feel like it's more utilitarian. Right.
I totally agree. So yeah, throwing those wild cards in, it's a blast.
That's awesome. Okay, so when you go shopping in a thrift store, what's your first department? Like, where do you go first? Accessories, pants, tops, dresses? What's your shoes?
Yes. So I always go to dresses first. I am a sucker for a floral vintage dress.
Yes.
And I do love that with dresses, you know, it's just easy. You put it on, you add some accessories, you add a shoe, and it's easy.
Instant outfit.
Yes.
Easy. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think for me, dresses seem the most magical for me. So that's definitely where I gravitate first.
So is dress your go-to? Like wearing dress is your go-to?
Sometimes I'm also a sucker for high-waisted cropped pants. So I'd say
Fun.
dresses or those kind of like loose high-waisted cropped pants are my go-to.
I love those.
Yes.
I got my first pair like last year. I was like, where have you been all my life?
Right? Oh, they're almost like PJs.
Yeah. They harken back to like a 90s gaucho. I don't know if you remember those. You might be young.
I wore gauchos I remember wearing a pair of gauchos to my middle school dance. Nice. With like this lace strapless top. I've always loved dressing.
Amazing. Amazing. So what's been getting you through this whole COVID period?
Yeah. Honestly, I would have to say WindyCityThrifter has really being able to fully work on it creatively, because with a full-time job, it can be difficult with, you know, the commute. It's just so much time out of my day. And so the Wear Your Weird Shit challenge, for instance, Amelia and I had planned to do that before all of this went down. And so we thought it was very appropriate to be in this situation and then really be able to explore our wardrobes under this lens. And my huge takeaway from that challenge was the ability to connect with people from all over the world.
I know. Yeah. Isn't it amazing?
It's absolutely incredible. And that connection that I've found with new friends I made through the challenge has really kept me going.
I know. There's like this whole community of people online that are so supportive. I never realized that until like I got into this whole thrifting community. Like this is all new to me. I mean, I always loved thrifting at an early age, but I didn't realize like there's so many people out there like me who you know, love a good thrift piece and love to like remix it up in their wardrobe. And there was always such a stigma with that back in the day. So I'm so glad that people are finally trying to incorporate that more in their lifestyle. And it's fun, right? Like
it's so much fun. And I feel like, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I feel like the thrift community is, as you mentioned, very kind, but they're just so genuinely themselves. Yeah. And I think that's because of thrifting and not paying attention to fast fashion trends, just paying attention to what they want to wear. It's beautiful.
Yeah. You can really express yourself. What would you say is your influence in your style?
Yeah, definitely silhouette. I definitely know the silhouette that I love. And so no matter if I'm wearing a dress or if I'm wearing separate pieces, I definitely always have something that's high-waisted or cinches me here, and then just everything else. Yes, yes. So, and movement of pieces. I mean, I have like style icons like Fuller and Swell, Stevie Nicks.
I can see that. Yes.
Yeah. I love a bohemian look, but with like an edge. I don't know.
Yeah, edgy bohemian. Definitely. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But I was just saying, I just love movement in clothes.
Yeah, it's got to move and like flow with your movement, with your body movement. Yeah. So you have a background in theater?
I do, yes.
That's really cool. So you like, I think dressing in different characters kind of got you more comfortable maybe in expressing your style, or tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have a BA in theater. And it's really funny because in school, they really push the idea of don't let your costume make you don't let your costume be what makes you your character fully, if that makes sense. They want you to be your character before you're in costume.
Right.
But I always felt that as soon as I put that costume on, I felt like the person.
Absolutely. You know what? I do have a background as well in performing arts. And I feel like you do all this prep work, all this backstory, you do all your research, you get your physicality in the body, you get all that mental work. But as soon as you, well, my teacher says, as soon as you put on the shoes of the character, when you walk in the shoes, and as soon as you use maybe a prop or something, I find like right away, like something snaps into place, right?
Oh, for sure. And it makes sense because that is, you know, who we are as people. We move differently when we wear different things.
That's right.
Yeah. And so actually my outfits are like I was saying in my live today, it feels like I dress for my feel, like how I feel. So each outfit's a different character.
Right. Yeah. Depending on how you feel, what your mood is. So do you dress a little differently when you go to the office as opposed to like on your off days, or are you just completely always yourself?
Yeah. So actually before I got this office job, I was a nanny. And so I would always dress up on the weekends because I was, you know, dressed in jeans and a t-shirt. But I found when I switched to the office job, they have, it's like business casual. So there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Leeway,
yeah.
That's always good.
And so like what I'm wearing today is totally something that I would wear to the office. I'm very lucky in that respect. But then on the weekends, sorry, my dog is hacking up along. On the weekends, I find now I'm more relaxed in what I wear because I dress up for the week. But yeah, I feel very lucky. I still feel like myself in my work clothes. Cool. So that's great.
Yeah, that's great. That's great that you don't have to dress as a different person when you go to work, which is always nice.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So are you able to work from home now?
I am. Yes. So I'm set up. I miss my dual monitors, but I'm very grateful to be working from home. That's for sure.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to put it out there to everybody who's watching. Thanks for joining, everybody. We've got some little comments here. I'll scroll up. If anybody has any questions for Kaitlin out there.
Thank you for joining.
Florican says, I'm the same way. I dress for my feelings.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. Like, depending on your mood, also the time of the cycle, time of the month, like how you're feeling, your energy level. Do you ever use color to kind of change your mood or boost your mood or your energy?
No, it's really interesting. I watched your wardrobe workout with Faye, and I learned so much about color. I don't feel like I use it to boost a mood, but I will notice if I start wearing a lot of black, I notice that, and then I try to move away from that.
Thank you for saying that.
Yes.
Amen. Because like I feel like black has been such a default for so many years. Like where I live, unfortunately, Vancouver, it's like people are addicted to gray and black here. I don't know what it's like in Chicago.
You know, I find a lot of color, but that depends on neighborhood. You know, each neighborhood kind of has its own aesthetic, if you will.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes, but I did notice, like, the week before Chicago put the stay-at-home order in place, I noticed I was wearing a lot of black. And that kind of fed into the anxiety I was having about going into work and being out in the world. So the next day after I realized, I was like, okay, where's all of my color?
Really? And you found it really changed how you feel?
Yes.
That's amazing.
I realized I was being more intentional with how I was dressing. And that's what I've tried to do in this quarantine, is being intentional with what I wear, because when I'm just kind of throw something on, I notice I feel different.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so true. And then, like you were saying, like the silhouette and the fit, like, you know, when we're wearing our pajamas all day, it's just kind of like the silhouette is just hanging and it's droopy, and it creeps into your psyche and your emotions. Like you feel that heaviness, right?
Oh, I completely agree. I think our clothes are not only armors, but also just shows what we're feeling.
A reflection,
Yes, a reflection.
Yeah. Oh, what was just reading some comments here. Business places have become more relaxed. Yes, it's true. Yeah, which is kind of nice. Great conversation. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Oh, Style Smarts is Lori. She's like, I'm with you promoting color in Vancouver. She's also a stylist in Vancouver.
Oh, wonderful.
We're gonna be chatting next Tuesday. I want to say Tuesday. So she understands where I'm coming from, because you cannot notice as a stylist. You kind of always check out what people are wearing. Just
right.
We're doing our research, right?
Yeah, right.
I think that's why I felt like there is a need. There is a need for people, for us to help. Because like you were saying, like it does really affect your mood. It affects your energy. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. And there's something we said, I don't know if you do this, but if I like walk past someone and I like something they're wearing, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
And just like the look that they get when someone's like, oh, they like something I chose for myself. Yeah. Like that's a good gift to give.
It is a good gift. I feel like clothing could be a conversation starter. You can make someone else's day by wearing a color or something. Just maybe one day you're like, you know what? I'm just going to decide to wear something really bright. And maybe it's going out of your comfort zone, but you do. And then I find people smile at me more.
Yeah.
More like open and want to talk to me.
Yep.
Oh, you are both gorgeous. So glad I got to know you through this channel. Oh, you're so sweet.
Thank you.
That's what we're saying. Like, everyone's so nice.
If I had makeup on, you'd see me blushing.
You can see me blushing, I'm sure. I'm easily blushable. All right. So, was there anything that you're like, any projects, any other challenges are coming up that you're doing?
Yes. So, after Wear Your Weird Shit and loving connecting with everyone, I decided to do a weekly challenge.
Okay.
So yeah, every Sunday I call it Let's Get Dressed. And every Sunday we have a different prompt that was submitted by a follower of mine.
Nice.
Yeah. And so tomorrow's throwback, if you want to join us.
Yeah, I would love to.
Like, throwback to your high school style or like a middle school icon.
My high school style.
You can revamp it.
I was in grunge, Dr. Martens and
Ooh.
black shirts. You know what? I wish I had a pair of Dr. Martens. I need a good pair of combat boots. That's too. One thing. Yeah, do you have anything on your list, like when all this is over, like that you really need for the next season or just in general in your closet?
Yes. So right now I am trying to declutter, but I'm always looking for skirts. I love like a t-shirt and a skirt look. It's just easy and effortless.
So easy. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, skirts. I'm always looking for shoes, but I'm a size 11, so thrifting shoes is not easy.
You know what? Yeah, I find like my husband has he has a larger foot and he's always looking for shoes because he's like, if I don't get these, I will never find another shoe in my size. Right. That kind of mentality.
I'm with him. Tell him.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah. It's tough. It's tough being like a certain size shoe. I sympathize. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm always looking for jewelry. I always love just accessorizing. I think jewelry, I've been trying to buy more jewelry than clothes just because I have too many clothes. I just think it's a great way to just spice up a look without having to spend a lot of money and without taking up too much space. I'm all about it. You have the best jewelry collection.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's my thing. Like, whenever I hit up a thrift shop, I definitely check out the belts and the jewelry. Like, I spend time combing through the stuff and it's a mix of this is actually my mom who gave it to me.
Oh wow.
But
she had a birthday, right?
It was my mom's birthday. You're so sweet.
Happy birthday.
She's on here. Shout out to Vicky.
Happy birthday, Vicky.
Happy birthday, Vicky. And I'm gonna play a song request that you had. Hang on. Oh, of course there's a YouTube ad when I decide to play the song.
They're like, you're all home, watch your ads.
Yeah. All right, get your dollars and cents. Here we go. We got a song from Missy Elliott.
I'm so excited.
All right, cheers, girl. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you so much for having me. This was so wonderful.
What's your next challenge name?
Oh, let's get dressed.
Let's get dressed. All right.
Yeah.
So check out Let's Get Dressed for Windy City Thrifter.
Yeah,
Shout out
on
to
Sundays.
Kaitlin, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This was absolutely wonderful.
And you go on live too sometimes, right?
I do. Every Wednesday I have an IG live called Showing Up but Staying Home. So
I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so I have a guest come on, and they talk about their passions and tools for people to get through this quarantine.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, have a great Zoom with your girlfriend.
Thank you so much. It was so lovely speaking with you, Karina.
It's so lovely. Kisses, kisses. All right. Take care.
Thanks.
Stay safe. And we'll see you soon. And then Faye's coming on next.
Perfect. Bye.
All right. Just a little bookie.
I need a glass of water. Boy, you still on ya. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive, it's right here. It's your primitive.
All right. We're going to switch it up with Faye.
Hey! How are you?
I'm so good. How are you? Good morning. It's morning for you, yeah?
I know, it's crazy. I'm like, it's 11:30, but yeah. I don't think my brain works up until like 2:30 on a Sunday. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
But
Sunday.
Oh my God, I just want to say your contribution to the wardrobe workout was freaking amazing.
Oh, it was so fun. And I was honored, honestly, to be asked by you because I've been kind of following you for the last few months and really enjoying all of your content. And I also love how you bring the community together. You have such a beautiful, beautiful spirit, beautiful energy, and very welcoming. So thank you.
Right back at you.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Mwah. I just want to thank you. Through the screen. This is so cool.
Totally.
So you figured out how to do a live. No, you've been on a live before.
I've been on a live before, but I just, it's not my forte yet. So I'm happy when other people drive it because I'm like, what if I press something wrong? I don't know. I'm so silly like that.
I know. My first live, I was shaking. I was okay. I'm gonna press it.
Yeah.
I'm playing one of your songs on your playlist by D'Angelo. I don't know if you can hear the back.
Oh man, I'm just so into like the smooth kind of vibes at the moment because I feel like everything is so chaotic and I just need something to chill. So I like, when I'm cooking or if I'm just like mood boarding or brainstorming or whatever, like this music just definitely is kind of just soothing me and just helping me kind of like just break it down a little bit, Yeah. Because it's pretty crazy out there.
Great taste in music, so.
Cute. Well, that's a big compliment coming from Miss Music over there in Vancouver.
Thank you. Thanks again for asking me to do the wardrobe workout. It was such a pleasure to watch you and your hubby. You guys are amazing and you're so sweet. And you're like, did I tell you I love you today? I was like, oh, melt.
That's how I feel every time I look at him. I'm like, oh my God, you're just the best. Like, I love his spirit. Like, sure, he's handsome and all those nice things, but it's like what's in here that he's so shiny to me. Like,
aww. Well, you're shiny to a lot of people. So
no, you're shiny.
Each other. Yeah. So how long have you guys been together?
We've been together for 7 years, married for 2. And it's just a joy to be with him and be his best buddy and his wife and all those lovely things. We have a really beautiful life together and I'm really grateful for it.
Well, speaking of that, do you mind, I'm sure everybody knows you, but just telling everybody who you are, where you're from, and what you do? Yeah.
Hey everyone. My name is Faye and I am an eco-stylist for the Salvation Army in Australia. So basically I work with the Salvation Army from a creative perspective. So in our country, we have 335 stores. And sadly, at the moment, they're all closed because of COVID. But normally, we do a lot of great stuff within the stores and around the stores. So I really work tirelessly to tell our story of sustainability and recycling and why that's really important. And, we just do lots of kind of different kind of ways that we approach that. So whether it be the media, whether it be, Instagram, Facebook, whether it be print, whatever it is, we're always working together to tell great stories. And so at the moment, we find ourselves in this position where it's fortunate in a way, because we've wanted to amp up our digital for a while, but we've always been too busy in the stores, right? So, so now is the time for us to kind of rethink how we do things, and we're working on our eBay store, and we're working on our whole kind of e-commerce platform. So just to offer people that thrifting experience as best we can when we can't go to a thrift store.
The Salvation Armies in Australia?
Yeah, in Australia, yeah.
Wow.
So I work across all of them with a really amazing team, and yeah, we do all sorts of stuff, events, and we do, you know, like media. I do stuff in the television world to promote our service, because basically the Salvation Army, you guys would know, it's a mission-based charity, so it's all about helping people. I was wondering if
it was Salvation Army because you call it Salvos.
Yeah, so it's still the Salvation Army, but in Australia we call our thrift stores Salvos stores. Yeah. So it's the same thing, it just has a different name, and it's Salvos stores that help to fund the mission of the Salvation Army, which is the kind of, you know, the big governing body, or the umbrella sort of thing. Yes. So all those thrift stores are based around 100% profit for the mission. So, you know, it's my job to help the staff in there and the people that work in the teams make it as beautiful and appealing as possible, so that we can get more people to shop with us, so that we can get more money for the mission and help more people.
I think it's just fantastic. We have Salvation Army in Canada, and I was talking about that on my, I think on one of my posts, and somebody from the US, that they said, what's Salvation Army? They didn't know what it was. So I think it's maybe a Commonwealth thing. I'm not sure.
Wow, that's interesting. So you don't have it in Vancouver?
No, we do. We do.
Oh, you do?
I was talking about it, and somebody commented from down in the US, and they didn't know what that was.
That's weird. Maybe were they thrifters?
Yeah. It was actually Anna's on. She's like, oh, I've never heard of that. So
wow.
It was Anna. But in Nora Baya said hello, building community.
Hey, Nora.
Hi. Hi, everybody who joined. Thanks so much. We're talking with Faye, amazing eco thrifter. And so you're heading the whole Salvation Army style team across Australia. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely part of that team, and we all work together, you know, as a team. I'm definitely not the boss, but, you know, we all work together as a collective to
But you're the face, it seems like.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And so it's such a joy to do what I do, you know, but it's also been really challenging, just what's going on, because, you know, you just never think that you can't go into a thrift store, or you can't, you know, so it's been a big shock to kind of reassess how we do things in a really good way, but it's also an adjustment as well.
And so it's making you think of a new way of getting the merchandise out there, and
a new way of telling a story, you know, and that's what I love to do, and that's a huge part of what I do, is tell stories. So it's really challenging me as a storyteller to go, right, okay, how do we do this, and you know, and how do we hit those notes for people that are really missing it and really, you know, struggling. And so that's why it was so great that we chose colors, and I love how we just naturally came across that together from our conversation. I just feel like it's the time to think about things like that, and think about things from a slightly deeper perspective, because we really can't ignore, you know, why this happened, and also, you know, what's going on with the planet. So I think it's actually a really profound time to make us slow down and just rethink our approach to things. And it has to come from a deeper place now. We can't continue to be, you know, excessive and ignorant and all those things. That we definitely need to think deeper about things. So yeah, it was beautiful timing that you and I came up with that, and that's what I love about this community, is that we're all connected in this really quite deep way that I don't think we sort of always realize, but it just every week, time and time again, I'm like, wow, like every connection is powerful. So yeah, thank you.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we one day got together and had a convention?
Oh my God, I would lose my mind.
That would be so fun.
Can you imagine? Our faces would fall off from talking and laughing too much.
It's true. We're all like kindred spirits, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
So how did you get started in all of this?
Oh, it's a crazy journey. My background is media, so I've worked as a presenter, TV presenter,
Oh, that makes sense.
all my life.
Right? You're so great.
Oh,
So
thank you.
natural. Yeah.
Well, yeah, just I started when I was 15 doing that
Wow.
on a show here in Australia called Totally Wild, and Totally Wild was still going actually, but it's a show that's all about animals and the environment. And so that really cemented my love of Mother Earth and doing
Yeah.
all I can to tell stories that will help her. But I always had this undercurrent and this love of fashion. So I think I was always subconsciously searching for that way that I could combine them both. And it took a little time for me to figure it out. And it was just as you would understand, and most of the people in our community, we have that sort of deeper awareness about things, especially with, ourselves and the planet. And so I was just buying too much and I was being really excessive and it wasn't making me happy. So
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
had to really start to think about, well, why am I doing that? And do I need that? And why am I carrying all this stuff when I'm traveling? So it
Mm,
sort of became this intervention on myself of let's live with less, let's see how that feels. And then that just sort of instinctively started to draw me to what I do now. I grew up with parents who are like mad thrifters and vintage and
oh, good.
antiques. And so from a really young age, I was in those stores and I was seeing my parents be creative and come up with great ideas
Oh,
for,
I love that.
old things. So it was always in
So they
me.
passed it on to you in a way.
Yeah, it
That's
definitely got in by osmosis. And then I think it's just a combination of me following my bliss, which is thrifting and clothes and fashion and storytelling, but then thinking about, I read a book once and it was a Deepak Chopra book and it said, always ask yourself, how may I serve?
yes.
And that just really hit me. I was like, how am I serving? Am I serving? And it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
So once I read that, everything sort of changed. And then I just kept following that question and kept following that feeling. And I never thought that my job would turn into what it has. I literally just went into a Salvation Army to borrow some clothes for a TV segment about
No
DIY.
way. Wow.
And they loved it. And then they asked me what else could I do? And we've just developed it as we went along. I never set out to be an eco stylist because back then there wasn't even such a thing. So yeah, I created my job, and it's just
That's
been
awesome.
amazing how it happened. I couldn't have predicted that.
That's so cool. I love that. I love that. You created it because there was a
Yeah,
need, right? You felt that there
yeah,
was a need, and I think you both needed each other kind of to make this into fruition.
I think so. And I
Yeah.
think it definitely, like you say, it's I could see a need of how I could help, how I could use my skills to help. But I was also searching for that thing for myself too that would fill me up and that would help me to feel on purpose and be of service and all those things. And it was just, as my hubby says, divine timing. And yeah, maybe my soul kind of knew before I did what the hell was going on, probably. But
Probably.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
sort of followed my nose, I guess. And yeah, it's such an honor and a pleasure to do what I do, and yeah, it's very cool. Mm.
That's awesome. I see your hubby sometimes in your videos. He's very supportive of what you do, and I love that you kind of work as a team together. Does he love thrifting as well? Is he a shopping type of guy, or?
He really does now. I think he used to, as a kid as well, instinctively, he used to thrift, but he never kind of really put, a label on it, I guess. But when he met me, he definitely kind of started to watch what I was doing. And I
Yeah.
never said to him, do this or try that, you need to do this, or I just kind of did my thing. And then
I was going
he
to ask him,
started.
do you style him up ever?
Well, he sort of asked me to because I never sort of said don't wear that or like I just wasn't like that. He did dress like a rainbow when I met him though, um, and it's been really interesting to see how he has wanted to develop his style because
Yes.
he could sort of see me doing that with other people and with our community and he's like, oh wow, maybe I should try that or should I wear this or so we've kind of developed it together and he comes up with ideas now too. So
That's great. I love
um,
that.
but he's a total feminist with me. He's amazing. He's like, babe,
Yeah.
I just saw this movie and it's all about empowered women. You should watch it. I'm like, who are you? You're amazing.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I just fell in love with you both. I love this one. There was one video when you said, "Oh, wouldn't you rather have a hamburger right now?"
Yeah.
That was really cute.
Yeah. That's when we were in Nashville, and I didn't even tell him I was going to do that video. I just pulled out my phone and just started shooting and just let it happen, and people loved that one.
Yeah, I know. I think I just love seeing a glimpse into people's lives. It's just, I guess, because we all love reality TV. We like to get to know everybody and everything about someone's life, I guess. It's nice to see you on camera, but then, you know, who's she with? Like, you know, it's a fun way to get to know you in a different way, like
It's true, right? Yeah, and he has so much to say, and I'm slowly trying to get him comfortable in front of the camera, because it's not his thing. I mean, if you put him in a room with people, he'll talk everyone's face off, but as soon as you pull out a camera, he's like, what do I do?
It's a total different medium, right? Talking to a computer screen or like a piece of equipment. Yeah, it's totally different. I was gonna ask you, what's your go-to when it comes to accessories when you go to a thrift shop? Like, what's the first thing you go for?
I love belts, and I heard you talking about that before too. Obsessed with belts. I'll show you this one I'm wearing. This one is
that's awesome.
And it's got on the back of it, I'll turn it around so you can see, it's got someone's initials.
Oh, that's so cool. It looks custom. Yeah.
So cool, right? So I got that in a thrift store years and years ago. So I always look for belts because I feel like, first of all, it's great for showing off your curves and highlighting the smallest bit of yourself. With my body shape anyway. And I just love the drama of them. I've got this one too. This I found, I don't know if it's real, but I don't care. I found this for $1 in a thrift store.
You can't go wrong. I mean, even if you wear it once, right?
Exactly.
You still got your
and it's still in pretty good condition. It's so
I
love them because they can add the drama no matter your you know, size, shape, age, whatever. And then obviously I'm obsessed with brooches. So I always look for brooches.
You know, I saw one of your way back. I saw one of your jackets, and you did the whole cluster brooches, and I sent that to one of my clients actually because she was looking for a way to jazz up her her jackets. So I actually sent one of your photos with your brooch.
Oh, good! Yay!
Yeah. So you've inspired me, and then I'm passing that along, and as well in my own brooch collection too.
Yeah, I just think they're extraordinary because again, it doesn't matter what your size is, what your age is. It doesn't matter, and they're a great way to add personality because I'm always picking brooches obviously that feel right for me. So I have everything from, you know, bedazzled swords to elephants to, you know, dragons and deco and just all sorts of things. So I think they're a really beautiful way to implement just little drops of your personality, and they're a talking point. They're a talking point, I find.
Little signature pieces. I love it. I love
Lee loves them too.
You were wearing an eye. It's like, oh, it's great. I need more things with eyes because of my name, my handle.
I found that on Etsy. I'll have a look, and if it's still there, I'll send you the link. I found that one on Etsy, and I loved it so much I got two.
Hook a sister up.
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
That's great.
It's based on Salvador Dali.
Yes.
I believe.
One of his paintings.
Yeah. One of his paintings. Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else could I ask you? Or does anybody have any questions for Faye? Please let us know.
Hit me up, guys.
I'll just see if there's any comments here. So many people forget to check out the belt and scarf section. Yes, it's true.
Oh my God, scarves. Yes. Scarves. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Again, I think they're really great to like transform an outfit. Yes. I did an outfit last Sunday for my wardrobe workout, and I just layered, like, I think there was about 8 scarves in the same tone, in the same color palette, and I just layered them all underneath this belt on top of the skirt, and it just looked amazing. And they're all like $2.
What you do with scarves, like you create tops with them, and you do all this layering. I think it's so genius. I love how creative you are with that. You can just take a plain white dress or black dress and add the scarf, and it just creates a whole new dimension I love
Totally. And this is my approach. I think I'm definitely, in terms of my color palette, I'm definitely more neutral and more minimalistic, but I am a maximalist when it comes to accessorizing and styling it. So sure, I might be wearing beige, but it's encrusted with 50 brooches, or, you know, I've laid up 3 belts, or I've got 10 scarves hanging off my belt, or something like that. And I think
I love it.
my other approach there too is size. So I don't have a big apartment. I don't have a big wardrobe, so I can't have 50 skirts and 50 jackets.
Exactly.
So my way to have that variety is with small accessories, but they have such a big impact. You know, it doesn't take much to store brooches and scarves, but
It's brilliant.
the impact they can have is
That's brilliant.
incredible.
I think also another way scarves could be helpful if anybody wants to start getting into wearing color, getting a scarf in their color palette and wearing it. Of course, you're wearing it around your face. That really brings up the skin tone in your skin. The skin tone in your skin.
The skin tone in your skin. That's a really good tip. I've never thought of it like that. You're right.
Yeah, just kind
so
of
what?
Your way
So what would I
into
wear?
color.
What scarf would you put on me around my neck?
Well, you seem like you would be probably a spring season. You can go for peaches and pinks and greens and
Green.
yeah, maybe not a fluorescent green and not necessarily pastel, but like a nice, maybe even a little deeper than pastel. And of course, all the jewel tones suit everybody. So jewel tones would be amazing on you too. Emerald, sapphire, yeah.
Yes, I love green. As you can see, some of my babies
and
behind
then,
me.
You know, always go with, if you have a certain color eyes, go with your eye color. That's always a good way to go as well.
That's a good tip too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone's saying down the bottom that's something about jewelry.
Oh,
I think.
See. Brooch queen. Yes, she is. Compared to the rest of the world, where do you think we sit as thrifters? What do you mean in Australia or what part of the world? So jewelry is often a section overlooked. Yes, found some amazing chunky gold necklaces yesterday. Oh, where did you find them? Were you thrifting? How did you get out of the house and go shopping?
Oh my God, what a dream. I wish we could do that.
I know, I miss it. So someone says, yeah, compared to the rest of the world, where do you think we sit as thrifters? I'm not sure where though, where she means. This is
well, I can talk about like my observation, like in terms of traveling. Like, so I think the way that, like, I love New York, and I've been there a lot. And when I'm thrifting in New York, it's very different to Australia. So the thrift stores there are really quite, I mean, we have some big stores too, but there's just sort of, they're a little bit scattered, like, and they're quite hard to find. Whereas in Sydney, we've got loads of thrift stores, and sometimes they're in little kind of spots together where there's like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, nice. I like that.
But the other thing that I really noticed that's huge in New York is the whole consignment thing. So designer consignment, you know, designer vintage. We definitely have that, but not as much as New York does.
No, I can imagine. Like,
and then when you go upstate New York, the thrift stores are like supermarkets. And it's the same when you go to Nashville. Like when I went to Nashville, holy moly, like that video that you were talking about that I did with Lee, that place was
massive.
Oh my gosh. It was like a Walmart or something. Like it was just
they take it very
huge.
Yeah.
So I think you guys definitely kind of pump it out, you know, and I love that. And I love that it's not always so curated, because you've got to dive and you've got to kind of look but it is overwhelming if you haven't done it before, because it is a lot of clothes.
Well, we have quite a few Salvation Armies in Vancouver, and we also have Value Village.
Yes,
which I have a love-hate relationship with them, because
do you?
I do. I mean, it's a huge shopping store. It's a huge store, like a grocery store. But I'm not so sure that they actually donate their profits to helping the community like they say they do. I think there might be some shady stuff going on, unfortunately, and the prices have gone up too. So that's kind of a bit of a bummer. But but they're all over. It's a chain store, and they're very accessible for everybody. And they sell not only clothes, they sell like children's clothes and housewares and all that. So, but we do have like these smaller vintage shops and thrift shops. They're definitely more curated. I would say like the vintage shops here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the prices are quite big difference as well.
Yeah, I think that's the tricky thing, isn't it? It's like as soon as it's curated and more fancy, it's like they, you know?
Yeah.
So we have, one of the things at Salvos and I worked on is we have a boutique concept in some of our stores. So we started that like 5 years ago, and it
I
was,
love that. That's so
yeah,
brilliant.
it was
Brilliant.
because I could see that we had all this amazing stuff, but we weren't taking as much advantage of it as we could from, I mean, sure, you know, a profit for mission sense, but from a shape shifting sense. So because people would say to me, "Oh, I don't know what to look for," or "It's all like daggy.
It's all
I can't
jumbled.
find anything fashionable in there. There's nothing cute." And I was like, "BS. I'm going to show you that there is."
Really look. Yeah. But
Yeah, so I really wanted to change people's perception with that. So in our boutiques, it's still super, super reasonable, but it looks, you know, it looks like a Zara or, you know, like I was going to say Macy's, but that's gone.
Right.
Was it Macy's that went? Was Macy's, right?
I'm not too sure. I don't think we ever had Macy's here in Canada, but I think so. But
maybe
Nordstrom's just opened about 2 years ago.
Yeah, so, you know, we kind of try to make it look a little bit like
a department store, like a nice department store. I love that you do that because, that's why a lot of people, they get discouraged and they're overwhelmed because everything is just kind of all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is actually a lot sorted by color sometimes, which is okay.
Yeah.
But
and we do sizes. Do you guys do sizes?
Yes. The sizes are all sized. Yes.
You're right. Thank you, Juju. It was Barney's. You're right. That's right. I was trying to think what it was because when I was in New York, it was closing.
Oh,
and
my goodness. Okay.
So I was there for like their last day of trade, and then everything just closed. And then they put everything that they didn't sell out on the freaking street, like just dumped it. So
kidding.
Yeah, it was on the New York Times. Like if you Google it, like you'll see what they did. It was just
strange.
It was really sad, actually. I mean,
sad.
people got great deals, obviously, but like just the waste of it, you know, just, we're done. We'll just chuck it on the street now.
That's unfortunate. I mean, they probably could have donated it to, you know, some of the missions in the States as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just seemed like I mean, I don't know the exact details, so I shouldn't judge, but it did seem quite wasteful to me.
Yeah. Oh, someone's saying in Europe, I found you pay by the kilo in thrifting stores. What do you think of that concept? Oh, like you buy some places.
Yeah, there's one called Kilowatt, I think, and then there's another. I saw that in Paris, and I saw in Tokyo too. They do that. I think it's great, and there used to be a buy the bag that Housing Works did in Brooklyn in New York, but then I don't know if they do that anymore. So you pay like $25 and you just get like a whole bunch of stuff, or you can fill a bag.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I guess we only have a couple minutes left. It went by so fast, but I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about the challenge that we did about color? You chose yellow. Why did you choose yellow, and how did you feel about it?
I loved our challenge because it really was a challenge for me. And it's funny because in my 20s, I loved color. And then I think once I kind of got into meditation and just a different phase in my life, I just kind of wanted simplicity. So I'm really drawn to white and green now. But green was an easy one for me. So I didn't want to do that in our challenge because I wear a lot of green already. So I was like, I need to push myself. So I've always loved yellow because I think it's beautiful on blondes. Yes. But I just love the personality of that color. Like you can't be grumpy and wear yellow, you know, like
I was going to say, did you find your mood shifted when you were on the color?
Big time. So and the coolest thing was when we shot the video yesterday of Lee and I in our colors, and just like around the corner here, there's a little alleyway right near our house. So we shot it there. And when we were coming back out to come home, this girl stopped us and was like, "Wow, I love your colors." Yeah. And it was really interesting because we just had fun. Yeah, we just had fun shooting that video, and it made us feel good. and someone else saw it, and we ended up standing on the street with,
It's
you know,
infection.
social distancing, but we talked for like half an hour to this lady.
Amazing.
So
I think,
yeah, it was great.
I think people are you know, when you dress in color and you're intentional about it, I think that it really brightens up people's day. And I think more people should try to experiment with it. And is there a takeaway? Are you going to experiment with more color, or what do you think?
Definitely. Yeah, I loved wearing it en masse, but I think what I'm going to maybe start to do now is try to implement colors that I'm scared of or don't wear in with my neutrals. So because I love the colors that you did, the purple and the magenta, I just love that color. But
I don't normally wear all those colors all at once, so
it looked beautiful on you.
Challenge. Yeah, I think I would probably tone down the look. I love the skirt. That's the skirt, my recent purchase at a thrift shop months ago before all this COVID. But I would probably maybe, you know, wear a more neutral color with it. But I just had fun pairing all the colors together.
It was really fun, and it's really like, it's so pleasing to the eye. And
yeah.
So I think I definitely want to try to implement some purple in with like this kind of tone. So whether it's, you know, just like a shoe or a scarf or something, just have that little pop.
Yeah.
So it's definitely inspired me to.
About the pop. I'm all about the pop colors. Yes.
Totally. Yes.
Oh, well, definitely check out Faye's latest challenge, Color Me Happy, and you could see it on her stories. You could see it on my stories. We shared each other's challenge this week, and you did such a gorgeous video. How do you make all your great videos?
It's just on my phone.
Just on your phone.
Yeah.
You gotta let me know what apps.
Yeah, sure. So I have I have an 11 Pro Max iPhone. So I just shoot on that, and the thing I do before I take any photo or any video is I clean the cameras, because we get our fingers, our fingers are on our phone all the time. Totally. So I clean the camera at the front of the phone, and I clean the 3 lenses at the back every single time. So that makes it look crispier. And then to edit, I use an app called InShot.
Okay. I have
which
that.
Is
I just need more practice at it.
So yeah, it does take a little while to learn how to drive it, but so I use that, and then I just use like kind of frame apps like what is it called? I can't remember the name of it. Unfold. So that has like fancy frames and like little kind of tweaks that you can use, but that's pretty much it. I want to do a YouTube channel, but I haven't figured out. I mean, I've got one, but I want to start shooting more videos for YouTube, but I haven't really figured out how to do it yet, because I don't think you can do that on your phone. You got to have
You can.
But then it's going to look weird because it'll be vertical and not horizontal.
Oh, well, you could turn your phone, and then there are ways.
I need to do some thinking about that. Well, are you doing anything for Fashion Revolution Week next week? Do you know about that and what's going on with all that?
Sorry. Oh, my phone's telling me there's 2 minutes remaining. Thank you. Because last time it just cut off. I'm going to check it out, because I'm not sure. I'm kind of like behind on all that. So I'm going to inform myself, and I'll definitely take part in whatever's going on, because I love this community. Yeah. And I have so much love for you and for all you do. And thank you for being so welcoming to all of us and myself. And it's such a pleasure. I hope to collaborate with you at some point in the future.
Oh, yeah, let's do it. Thank you for being beautiful too. And you have to tell me about your hubby next time we do a live, because you've got a handsome Islander hubby too.
Yeah, I got to pull his rubber arm. Where's the rubber arm? But he likes to get fashionable too, and sometimes I dress him though.
It's fun. I love doing it. I love you too, Norbaya.
Oh, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. It was such a pleasure. I can't see all the comments, but I'm so glad my phone didn't just cut me off. I think that's a new thing now with the live. So.
Oh, really?
So it's a little more civilized. I could say my goodbyes.
Oh, they give you like a time limit?
Yeah, it's giving me like a little countdown right now.
Wow, it must be because so many people are using lives because of ISO. Wow. Okay.
Well,
all right.
Thank you so much.
Wrap it up.
Thanks, everybody. It's been such a pleasure once again. Have a great day. It's morning for you, so enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a beautiful night, and so good to connect with you, gorgeous girl.
Thank you. Likewise. Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.